And thanks for doing this, and thanks for being in the group, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite. I love that stuff, man. I love contributing any way
You're
I can.
you're doing good. I think your posts are engaging, and people are liking it.
Appreciate that, man.
And you have a really nice hat.
It matches my arm.
Oh, damn, dude, you went all out. Just in case anybody forgets your name, it's on your arm. I love that.
My wife laughs at me. We go to restaurants with, anywhere we have to do reservations, and they'll say last name, and I'll just go like this.
That's the best way of doing it. It's like I don't even have to talk. I don't have to talk.
My kids get lost at the mall. They're like, "What do they look like?"
Oh, I love it. All right, man. Well, look, for those people that are tuning in, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what type of team you run, and how are you using virtual assistants?
Sure, man. Well, first of all, my name is David Kurz. I own and operate and partnered with the Kurz team at eXp Realty. And as the Kurz team, we're now operating in Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and Northern Virginia, and soon be operating in Maryland and DC. I'm actually in Virginia right now. Came up here for the night. My business partner is going to stay for 4 or 5 days, but I'm up here for the night for some of the more important meetings and to re-engage with the team in person. But overall, it's, I went from being a little team in Miami to spreading out to multiple territories, and it's been really exciting over the last year. And our VA, we hired our first VA, and the first VA, and honestly, I don't know how it took me this long to do it, but the first VA is in ISA, And so I think a lot of team leaders that might be watching this right now, and if you are not a team leader and you're just a part of a team, let me tell you the heartache that us team leaders go through when we have to have this massive conversation all the time about follow-up. It's like, listen, guys, we're pulling in leads from the sky, the moon, the stars, the ground, the glaciers. Like, we're pulling leads out of anywhere we can. And most agents will call them once, maybe twice if you're lucky, 3 times. Good luck with that. And so, my partner and I sat down, and I said, I've been very reluctant about the VA thing, but I think we got to give it a shot. She said, "What do you want to do?" I said, we got to get an ISA, somebody who's just going to be on this monstrous follow-up that I coach and talk about all the time. Somebody I could look at and say, "Hey, dude, this is your job, 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, plus 4 hours on the weekend. Like, all you're going to do is follow up with all these folks and make appointments for us." And man, what a game changer, dude. Holy shit, dude. I don't know. Can we say that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. But what a game changer, Tristan.
Explain to me what that means specifically. Like, how are they allowing you to grow more, and how are they allowing you to do what you want to do and focus on your priorities?
So essentially, the ISA is doing things that no one wants to do. I mean, let's be real. It's a very unique individual that can sit in front of a CRM day after day and make those calls. It really is a unique individual. It's not everybody, and it's not the majority of people. The majority, and not the majority of people want to be on the phone anyway, right? So new lead comes in, my team goes on attack, right? So we have a rule: phone call, voicemail, text, video text. Like, by the time this person has been on your website for 60 seconds, I want them to know you, hear you, and see you, And so one of the things that we've been able to do is leverage the fact that most agents will not follow up with those clients. So it has allowed us to be in an opportunity where we have somebody that is specifically for follow-up, specifically to be calling all those folks, where my agents can say, "Hey, I did what David told me to do. I did the text, I did the call, I did the video message, I did all this stuff already. And it's been 2 days and I've done it 3 times already, and I'm unable to get in contact with this lead." And they push it to my ISA. That's how we operate it. And so my ISA now, Russell, let's call him Russell. My Russell gets on the phone and he calls this person to death. And Russell asked me, like, when we first started, Russell goes, hey, when do you want me to stop trying to follow up with them? I go, cool, when they die. Like, you know, and he starts laughing. And I'm like, dude, I'm serious. Like when somebody picks up the phone and says, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson or Mr. Smith is no longer with us, then you could stop calling. And, you know, I get a little joke about that, but it's not so funny. I always say, well, fine. I'm like, find out who's got the probate, you know?
Well, look, let's go into that a little bit, because now you're telling them exactly what to do and what you expect of
Yes.
them. And I think that's a big challenge for any business owner when they're hiring staff that's in-house or outsourced. It doesn't matter. How do you make sure that the people that you're hiring understand the duties and tasks? Is this written out? Do you think about it before and outline it? Do you come up with it with them? How does it look?
I think for me, it was outlined beforehand. It was just assigned to the agents. So I took away from the agents what I knew they were not going to be doing. And I put it in front of Russell, and Russell and I sat down together and we spoke about it. We said, look, first of all, you know, VAs are not local, but they need to be treated like family. The same way you would treat your team locally that sits right in front of you, they need to be treated the same exact loving and caring way. So in my opinion, when they feel like they are actually a part of your team, they will go above and beyond for you more than anybody you have in your backyard. Like they will just go at full force. So Russell and I sat down. We said, look, this is the way we're going to do it. Here's the CRM. We use Chime. Here's the CRM. This is how you use it. This is how you follow up. These are the systems I want you to follow up with. We already had a VoIP system tied into the team. So
Mhm.
I just purchased another line, and Russell was able to use it from his computer. He can text, he can make phone calls, he can do everything he needs to do from that VoIP line. And he's been able to just consistently get in front of people. And his only job, I tell Russell, your job is not to sell real estate. Your only job is to book an appointment with one of our agents. So Russell's job is to get on the phone and say, hey, listen, you were on our website, you're looking for property in Miami or Virginia or wherever the lead comes from. And one of our agents attempted to reach out to you, but wasn't able to. Can I set you up an appointment for this week? How's Wednesday or Thursday?
Mhm.
Right. And so that's his script. Like it's just, and he does it over and over and over again. And so we set goals. And my early on goals, I told Russell, I said, Russell, look, I'm not going to pressure you. Your goal right now is one a day. I need 5 appointments a week, right? You
Okay.
give me 5 appointments a week. That's a very attainable goal. I'd be super excited. I don't expect for you to do it next week, but we're going to coach and we're going to train and we're going to work together to get here. And the way that we do that is for the first 3 weeks that I had Russell on, we met every single morning through a Zoom call, you know, and we spent about 10-15 minutes together. We played scripts, what happened yesterday, you know, what objections did you get? We talked about it. And the great thing is that these VAs, for the most part, they're coming to you trained on like Tom Ferry and things like that, you know? So
Okay.
they've already got a base. You're not teaching them from the base. They've already have a base. What you're doing is you're making it yours, right? How each team operates has its own lifeline, right?
Mhm.
So so you're making, I made it mine with Russell, and he gets on the phone, and now Russell currently is doing about 2 to 3 appointments a day. So he's not only doubled, he's
Oh,
almost tripled the amount of people that he's making appointments with. And it's simple. This is not like, don't worry, David will meet you at the house. No, this is, hey, listen, let me align you with one of our agents in Miami. When are you available to speak to them? And then our agent gets the note through Chime. We transfer the lead to that agent, you know, and Russell has an email with us, has a phone number. He's set up. He's like the head of Chime, you know, and so he transfers it over, and they get the appointment. My agents are required to confirm with him. If they don't write him back through WhatsApp. Like sometimes if he doesn't hear from them in Chime, he'll shoot him a WhatsApp. Hey, I just sent you a lead. If they don't respond to him, he knows to transfer it to someone else.
okay.
And so, right, there's no notes, there's no anything. The agent never got to it. Whatever the case, he transfers it to someone else to ensure that one of our agents meet the appointment time that the client gave us.
All right, I like that. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about that. Are you just using them, or this specific person, Russell, your virtual assistant, are you using them
Yes.
specifically for incoming leads from Chime, from PPC pay-per-click, or are you also using
100%.
recruiting, anything else? What does it look
Nothing else right now. He's 100% focused on helping our agents surpass a six-figure income. That's our goal. We want every single agent on our team to surpass a six-figure income.
I like
And you know, and everyone on my team is at a 50-50 split with the team. And so they, you know, we've got our team set up where, I mean, honestly, all our team needs to do is follow that appointment, turn that into a contract, and then walk away again, because we have TCs and everything in place. So the funny part is, you know, my partner and I have sat down again and we talked about it. And I said, you know what, we're going to get our next virtual assistant is going to be an in-house TC, you know? And so Russell is, you know, Russell will have the inbound calls or the inbound leads. He'll set those appointments. When they're under contract, they'll go to the new person and go in straight into TC. Right now we're using a third-party company because we just don't, you know, we're still spacing it out, but it will be a virtual assistant very soon.
All right, so take me through this process, because what I hear some people say is that, look, if you're going to have people communicating with your online leads that are coming through, it should be somebody that's in-house, right? And some people
I don't believe that anymore.
All
I
right.
used to.
All right,
I
so
was dead set. Hey,
extremely
Trisha,
adamant.
I was so adamant about that. I was so adamant that all my leads needed to, or the people that were making the calls needed to be bilingual, because I do live in Miami and we're 90% Latino here. So, you know, and believe it or not, in Northern Virginia, where I am, the Stafford area and stuff like that, you're either military or you're Hispanic. So it just, you know, I was so dead set, like, I can't have somebody from the Philippines making these calls. They don't speak Spanish,
Yeah.
you know, or maybe they don't speak great English. I had all these like, these like mind blockers, you know, that like, you know, and they were my own shit, man. I was just brewing shit in my head and it was my own thing. I was in my own way, you know, and so, you know, I would spend all this stupid money on people in house and, you know, for what? So I could like hang over their shoulder and make sure they're making, you know, like, which by the way, never happened, right? I was never standing over their shoulder looking.
Yeah.
And furthermore, if they're not making their calls, they're not getting appointments. So I know that Russell's making his calls because he's getting me 2-3 appointments a day, right? That makes sense to me, you know? And I communicate with Russell at a very high level. So I do have one person that works in-house with us, a live, you know, person in Miami, and she's our team success manager and she has oversight on everything, right? So we have a WhatsApp group with her, me, my partner, and Russell. And he just shoots us, hey guys, I got this appointment, you know, this one looks a little bit, I'm not sure who to give it to. And, you know, and we communicate all day long. He's a part of the team. Dude, so I got that shit out of my head, man. And I gave it a shot. And I did things that, like, I listened to you say, treat them like family, keep them close. You know, don't treat them like a distant fourth cousin just because they're in another country. Like, they're an integral part of your team. I can't fire Russell right now, even if I wanted to. You know, you know, and so it's, you know, now he's officially a brother. He got no choice. He's all Kurz.
That's so funny, dude. I love that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about that, because I always say, if you want to make sure that you're using your virtual assistant team to the highest possible level, you've got to treat them like you would, like they're part of the family, right? And I don't know if you've read, I'm trying to find it. No, I don't have it next to me. It's by Jim Harder. The book is called, damn it, hold on. It's The Manager, something about manager. I interviewed him last week. I can't believe I can't remember the name, but it's kind of what you're saying right now.
Text it to me later, because I'd like to see that.
Dude, it's really good. And it goes to what you're saying. It's like, now you're meeting with Russell, you're talking to him, you're engaging with him, you make him feel like he's part of the family, right? Because that's your job. You've transitioned from agent, right? From boss type to coach to mentor, right? And that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do as we grow in owning a business, right? You know, there's, and it's tough because there's still a lot of real estate agents out there who run teams, right? And they don't realize that they own a business. They just don't realize it. They figure they're a part of somebody else's business, let it be, you know, KW or Exit or CW or whatever it is, you know, CB or whoever. and they just think they're a part of it, but they don't realize they're running their own business. If they don't treat it like a business, it's not going to grow, right?
That's it.
And one of my most exciting things to be able to do right now is work with Russell and see his growth, see how hungry and ambitious he is, because he's hungry. Let me tell you, Russell's interview was like this. Hi, David, I'm 24 years old. I'm hungry. I have X amount of experience and I have no wife, no kids, so I got no responsibility, so I can work with you all day long. And I was like, man, I love you, Russell.
You're hired.
You win. You win.
So funny. All right. Well, dude, I love that part of it. Now, can you tell me how you keep on motivating Russell to continually grow and get better at his job? Because that's always a challenge. Sometimes things become a little stale.
So I like to think, look, uh, everyone can say that money's not important, but money's a motivator, right?
Yep.
And so simple things. I got a message the other day. Hey, David, 4th of July is coming up. So just because Russell's in the Philippines doesn't mean he's not taking our holidays. We're off, he's off, right?
Yep.
And so he says, 4th of July coming up, you've got a few options. One of those options is I can take the day off and you don't pay me. I can take the day off, you pay me, but I make up the hours, or I can take the day off and you pay me. I said, take the day off. I'll pay you for the day. Like, really, really, what is it costing me? Like, less than a dinner with my wife,
Yes.
And so it just, to look at him and say, dude, I don't need you to make up the hours. Like, we're all taking off on the 4th of July, buddy. Like, go do your thing. I wouldn't do it to someone on my team here. I'm not going to do it to you.
Well,
And I think that's a strong motivator for him.
dude, that's true. I think you understand that you're investing in this person by making them feel like they're equal to you and you respect them and they feel that. So they work harder for you because of it. So very, very good point. I think one thing that we forget when we hire virtual assistants, specifically virtual, right? Not in-house, is that it's important to treat them like if they were in-house. And if you're going to take the day off across the board for the whole team office, then guess what? They're going to as well, right?
It should, absolutely. And it's just that's just one tiny piece. I know there are people out there that motivate their VAs by bonusing them on closings or appointments or things of that nature. We haven't reached that yet. I do have a plan for him. Once he gets to about 3 appointments a day, I'm going to start bonusing him at a different level. And that's just gonna, man, Russell's gonna make more money. His girlfriend's gonna be happier. He's gonna spend some time at the beach. He's gonna be excited. I get pictures from Russell, like, hey, Russell, how was your weekend? He sent me a picture of him and his girlfriend at the beach. Had a great weekend. And I love that. I love that because he's looking at me like I'm human. I'm looking at him like he's human. Being humans together. How crazy is that, right? And so, and some of the other things that we do, obviously, we always speak. So we've got our WhatsApp group, or if he needs help, we get him on the phone, or we just try to stay as vibrant and connected with him as possible so that he knows that we didn't just give him a list of names to call and then disappeared.
Dude, you mentioned something there. I think that's important, and that's the communication. How often do you communicate with you only have one VA right now, right?
Right now, yep.
Right,
There's soon to be 2, actually probably soon to be 3.
All right.
So we can talk about that if you want, but
I do. But first, I want to know communication. You use WhatsApp to communicate on a hourly, daily, weekly basis. What does that look like?
It's almost as needed, but the as needed turns out to be about 4 to 8 times a day. We're hitting each other up on WhatsApp. And if it's not me, it's my partner. If it's not my partner, it's our team success manager. So, and he'll message us. He'll tell us if he has an accomplishment, he'll let us know. If he has a question, he lets us know. So we just stay consistent at that level.
Do you check in like I do, where it's just like, hey guys, hey, good morning, everybody, how you doing?
Yeah.
Or what's up?
100%.
How are you feeling?
100%. Most of the time, Russell just checks in on us. Believe it or not, like, he gets to work and he'll be like, morning, guys.
He's like, hey, David, are you alive today? Did you wake up?
Yeah, he really does. I swear to you, I'll show you this. Hold on. Like, I know there's people watching right now, but I've got a little group on my WhatsApp called ISA Communication.
Nice.
And he comes in and look, there he is. What's up, team? Hope you're having a great day so far.
Russell rocks, man. I love Ross.
Yeah, he's like, just wanted to share. I got my first dose of the COVID vaccine earlier today, and I'm feeling awesome. Wish you were safe out there. That's my that's my dude. You know.
That's key, man. And look, we
Yeah,
communicate with all of our ISAs. Well, ISAs, VAs, everybody involved in the virtual staff and in-house staff by iMessaging. So we just I message everybody because all you need is an email, right? And I'm always on my
yeah,
iPhone. So I'm like, text to me, that's super easy. I have different groups, like for the 3 businesses that I have, different groups for each one, blast out. Sometimes I'm the one who says good morning. Sometimes they say it, and then we send funny gifs, and then we laugh, and then we keep going. It's dude,
yeah.
it's a blast. So tell me, what VA is next, and then what's after that? What's on this line?
Sure. I think I have 2 VAs that are next. I don't know which one will come first, or if they come simultaneously. Believe it or not, so I didn't even think about this, but a couple days ago I did hire a second VA. That second VA is going to be helping me with my credit repair business. So I'm a 50% partner in a credit repair business that's been around for about 20 years now, and they're going to help me. Same thing, ISA, inbound leads coming in left and right. My local team can't handle it all. They're going to be helping me with that. Next one is my TC, so transaction coordinator. It's going to be on board,
Love
and
that.
then the one after that is going to be my executive assistant. So eh, listen, you know how it is. You're doing podcasts, you're doing videos, you're doing this, you're doing that. You know, when you do a podcast, so when I do it through Zoom so I can talk to the person and we have a podcast together, right?
Mhm.
And so, but now I got to take this recording, I got to download it, I got to edit the video, I got to download the sound, and I got to edit the sound. Then I got to upload the sound into the podcast software, and then I got to take the video and I got to upload that into IGTV as well as YouTube,
Dude,
right? And so this 20-minute podcast turns into a 2.5-hour task. Think about everything,
every
you know,
time, every time,
every time. So think about all that I could be doing in the 2 hours I could have saved, right? Like how much more business could I have attained,
dude.
right? You know, setting up podcasts like just like this, like you, like somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." You know, you don't have time for that, but somebody did it. And so, you know, being able to even just schedule somebody to sit in a podcast with you, you're trying to schedule people that are super busy in their businesses to sit down with you for a certain amount of time and just talk. And so,
Dude,
and as much as people love to do it, because people love to talk, it's hard to set that time. So
so right.
just talking about all that stuff, how great would it be to have an executive assistant that does all that stuff, you know, and just handles all that for me, sets me up with, you know, simple marketing materials for myself and my team, edits my videos, edits my podcast, gets everything loaded, you know, helps me schedule my social media account, confirms appointments for me,
Dude.
right? Like, you know, hey, you know, hey Tristan, you're scheduled for David's podcast, you know, tomorrow. I just want to confirm you're coming in. Okay, great, thank you. You know, like simple things like that,
That's
right? That,
it.
yeah,
Look,
and you know, I
yeah.
there's a lot of people that can, you know, resonate with what we're saying right now because they're doing it all, you
Well,
know.
I'm going to simplify it by reminding everybody that our job, whether it's a real estate agent, a solopreneur, entrepreneur, business owner, is to focus on those priorities that continue to help us grow, right? And growth looks different for everybody. But if you can focus on those things that you're stronger at and have your team help with the base and the support on the things that's a lot more busy that you shouldn't be doing because you want to focus on your strengths, right? That's how you use it. And then you think, well, because David, you're doing this. You're helping your agents focus on their core work that they should be doing, right?
All they should do is sell the house. Everything else we leverage.
Yeah, man. You're allowing them to grow and become better agents by saying, hey, look, you focus on that relationship, man. Let us do all the heavy lifting on the back end. And that's the key. That's what it really comes down to. That's why
Yeah.
I love having in-house staff, virtual staff, and just bringing it together because it allows us to be able to grow.
And I tell my team all the time, guys, use and abuse us, leverage us. That's what we're here for. That's why you're on a team, right? Like we're gonna help you grow. Use and abuse us on that. And it's funny because the people that joke about it, I've got one girl on my team, Yenli, I hope she's watching. You know, when I said that for the first time, she goes, "Oh, don't you worry. I'm gonna use it. Don't you worry about it." And lo and behold, she calls me. She calls my, my assistant. She calls her team success manager. She calls Jeanette, my partner. Whoever she needs to call to get ahead and learn what she needs to learn to do what she needs to do. She calls them, and guess what? She's a rock star. She's a rock star.
Dude, I like that. And look, here's the added benefit to doing this for your team, for your business. They start seeing that you're helping out and that you're investing not only the time, but the staff into it. They're like, why would I go anywhere else? Right.
100%.
So that's important too. So some highlights that I want to bring up from your talk is that you're allowing your agents to grow by allowing them to focus on their like top 20% important things, right? The other one is you're treating your VAs as humanly as possible, like they're real people. Like I love seeing that with Russell the text, right?
Yeah.
That's key. So tell me one thing that's been a challenge for you that you're currently working on when it comes to this whole virtual world.
Shoot. I don't know that I have a real challenge right now. I think maybe, and maybe I'm a little bit spoiled. I think, because I'm so busy doing a million things, I feel like maybe and this was a concern in the beginning, maybe I wouldn't communicate as much as I needed to with my VA,
Okay.
but Russell communicates with us. He ignites the conversation and we don't let it slide. If you message us, we're going to message you back, right? So I might be a little bit spoiled, but I think that could be a challenge for most people. I think most people will like, the challenge may be training them appropriately, or the challenge may be staying in constant communication with them.
Yeah. That's very true, man. I agree with you on that. That is a challenge. Well,
but I'm spoiled, and no, guys, you can't have Tristan, or I'm sorry, you can't have Russell. Sorry,
Russell,
man.
Russell, right? It reminds me of Russell from Up, from
yeah, right.
Russell, such a nice guy. All right, David, thank you so much, man. So what areas do you cover? So if anybody's listening in and they have a referral, they can send your way.
Oh man, thank you so much. So look, this is my partner Jeannie. First of all, I'm dragging her here.
Hey,
she just brought me a coffee.
How are you?
We've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning traveling. So we're like coughing up as much as possible.
All right. I love that.
But yeah, right now we're in Virginia. We're in Northern Virginia area. We're right outside of Quantico Marine Corps Base and Alexandria and all those areas. Right. We're also in Tampa, Orlando, and Miami, Broward areas as well.
Tampa. Hey, David, hit me up right after. I have a referral for you. I didn't know you covered Tampa. That's so funny.
Yes, I got 2 great agents. One of them's a veteran as well, so she's a rock star.
So I'll connect you it's going to come from my agent. His name is Luis. So I'll text.
Okay. Awesome, man.
David, thank you so much.
Easy.
Not only did I learn from this, but I'm also going to refer you to somebody that needs help. So thank you.
You can bring me back anytime like that. Hey, thanks for having me, Tristan. I appreciate it. It's great to connect with everybody.
Thanks, man. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Take care.
Bye.